what's up? How gangster are you, cuz?
Hey. Whoop.
I don't fuck with you, cuz you disrespecting me.
I go hard, cuz. Hey, you guys. I hope everybody's doing good. Happy Friday. Let me go ahead and make sure all my screens are up. Oh my goodness. It's been a long week. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all mind if I just like pop up on here just like on some, like if I'm out on a walk or if just something pops up in my mind? Because I really had a good time with that airport vlog, and a lot of people liked it because it wasn't so formal. But then I feel like, YouTube, like people use YouTube Live as a more like a formal means. And like all the informal stuff is like on Instagram or TikTok, but I don't like either platform. I'm not a TikToker and I hate Instagram. So, like, would y'all mind if I just pop up sometimes? Like, oh, I want to talk about this real quick, but I'm not necessarily in the office and everything is not, perfectly curated. Because I think the airport vlog was fun. But then I know some people get mad, like, oh, you're not in your office. How dare you? And it's like, relax. So put a teacup if y'all don't mind me just popping up. Like even like sometimes when I'm like on a walk, I just want to go live and check in with y'all and get y'all's opinion on certain things and just conversate. Can I use my damn YouTube page how I want to use it? Cause I feel like the guys can do that. Like I feel like the guys can just roll out of bed, ain't brush their teeth, hair look a mess, be drunk as hell on live. You know what I'm saying? They can kind of do them. But I feel like the girls, like we always have to be like, when we go live, everything has to be like just, you're not perfect, but you know what I mean? It has to be like a setting, the lighting, all that. And sometimes I don't feel like doing all that. Sometimes I just want to get up on here and just talk about stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I see a lot of teacups. Okay, good. I appreciate that. Because sometimes we're like, dang, can I, because I know like on Instagram, it's more informal and TikTok is more informal, but I don't even think I can go live. I think I can go live on this Instagram page, but I just don't like Instagram. They've like banned me and done all types of stuff. So I'd rather this is my platform and I like YouTube. So I'd rather, use my platform, use YouTube. I am a YouTuber, so I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay, cool. So I know that. Because there was a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, like, just random news stories and stuff. But then I'm like, dang, I got to get everything set up. So that's good to know that I can just pop up on live and it's not a big deal. Because there's some people who get really mad at that. They feel like, YouTube is like very serious. It's like, bitch, this ain't TV. This ain't the Oprah Winfrey Show. Relax. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just me chopping it up with the tea sippers. Nothing more, nothing less. But I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's been a lot of stuff going on this week. First and foremost, child, can we say Tigro Damas called it on the whole Aoki and her billionaire boyfriend, honey, what's his name, Albert or something like that, the restaurateur. When I tell you my live stream was longer than their relationship, literally. The very next day after my live, it went viral that, the restaurateur guy dumped her. And I told y'all that this relationship was not going to last because she was acting like a ditzy child instead of a mature Harvard graduate, okay? Again, the age thing per se didn't really bother me because this is what society pushes. Society pushes that, once you hit 21, you got to go get you a baller and a rich man, use your body and your beauty because by the time you turn 30, you're going to be old and ugly and you just need to die. You know what I'm saying? That's what society and Fresh and Fit and all these motherfuckers push. So I get why young girls are like, oh, let me go get me an old sugar daddy, why I got my looks in my youth, but trust me, honey, Aoki's younger than my daughter, and I think I look good for my age. So, just because you're 30 and over 40 does not mean that you need to roll over and die, honey, okay? People gonna be checking for you regardless. Old men check for you. And once you hit, like, your late 30s, early 40s, the young dudes check for you, too. So people still check for you. So don't think that you about to, like, you know what I'm saying, by the time you hit 30, it's just a wrap for you. But I just felt like she was just very, very immature. And like I told you guys, wealth whispers. And all of the unnecessary attention that she was bringing to that man, it was not going to last. Somebody said, he was watching your stream, T. Because literally after my stream, she got dumped. So I was cracking up. They said he was in the live chat taking notes. Y'all are a mess for that. So let me go ahead and pull this up so we can check it out. It's so funny now she's running around talking about, I don't have a boyfriend. Bitch, we couldn't tell a week ago. You know, my boyfriend. My boyfriend. Okay, his name is Vittorio. Why did I call him Albert? He looks like an Albert. I'm sorry. I didn't give that man a whole new name. Albert! Okay, so here we go. That's her and her ex, 65-year-old Vittorio Asaf. And basically she's saying that she's depresso espresso. You know, so meaning that he's the one who left her. She's not the bag of trash, honey. Girl, if you don't go back to your rich parent, well, they're not as rich as they want us to believe, but just go back to your mama home. You'll be all right. She got all her stuff in the trash bag. This man done put her out. She says, I'm depresso espresso. I did not indeed have to share. I found where all my packages have been going to. So, I guess, child. So right now she's going through it. They were also talking about it on TMZ. Let me see if I can find that article here where they're talking about the breakup. Here goes them on the beach. She's lost a lot of weight. I went back and I looked at some of her old pictures from 2021 and she was not this skinny. So I was right when I said that. You know, she's always been a thin girl, but she's just never been that skinny. But they're saying here, let's see here. Turns out the model's PDA-filled getaway with 65-year-old restaurateur was just a fling. It's 100% done. They're absolutely not dating. A source told, close to Aoki told Page 6. So, yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So, yeah, Tigo Dramist strikes again. But again, I'm not surprised because like I told you guys, wealth whispers, and she was just doing a bit too much in that relationship. You know, if you're going to date somebody older and especially somebody with money, there's a certain way you have to move, you know. And it could have, you're right, it could have been a publicity stunt, you know, maybe her daddy's the one who hooked up with him. I don't know. But there's just certain ways that people who have money move. And she was moving like a hood booger. Like she ain't never been nowhere. Like she ain't never had shit, you know. And then the fact that she's putting it out on live for like her fans and for the public to judge him, it just wasn't a good look. So I knew that wasn't going to last. Again, you know, do what you want to do in life as long as, you know, you're grown and you're of age. But do understand that, you know, a lot of these relationships, you know, they're just of using each other. The guy is using the girl for her youth and her looks and arm candy, and the girl is getting something financial, you know what I'm saying? And you just got to know, you got to understand what it is. Like, somebody like that is not going to settle down and necessarily marry a 21-year-old. You know, so as long as you know the game and you know what it is, then do you. But I also find it very interesting, too, like a lot of these super old relationships are also being pushed, you know, because they're like 40 years apart. He's older than her parents, you know, so it's going to be interesting, honey, to see who she PDA, you know, does her little PDA with next. So I just wanted to let y'all know about that the live stream on Monday lasted longer than their relationship. So good luck to Aoki. Hopefully she lays off of whatever the hell she's on. So I want to go ahead and hit on this topic here. Let's see. Let's talk about OJ. Let's talk about OJ. I want to hit on that. So I was kind of shocked with the news. I didn't even know that he had been sick. I'm not a fan of OJ. And let me keep it real with y'all. Even when I was a kid, I remember they did like this whole, I don't know, like survey. Like, you know, raise your hand if you feel like OJ's guilty. And I remember all the black kids in it's like a summer program. You know, none of them raised their hand like, oh, he's not guilty. And I was like, you know, the lone Yahoo like, guilty. You know, I don't know. I just had a feeling. Like, I never trusted him. Even as a kid, I just felt like there was more to the story. I just didn't believe the whole, oh, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Even when I was a kid, I thought OJ was guilty. I wasn't here for the theatrics. You know, people who are not guilty, they don't jump in a white Bronco and take the LAPD on a slow speed chase. You know, so I don't know. Was I the only kid back then? Because I remember everybody was like, what? Wow, I can't believe you think he's guilty. He's a black man. Who cares? You know what I mean? So I always felt he was guilty. So I've never been a fan of OJ, but still, it's still unfortunate when anybody passes away, I guess. He lived a longer life than Nicole and Ron Goldman. And so this caused a lot of controversy yesterday on social media. People wanted to know, did he confess on his deathbed? Did he come out and say, I did that shit? From what I found out, he did not confess to anything. He took his sins with him to the grave, which is very interesting. But I think part of it too was that he was very arrogant, and I never liked it. That even after everything was said and done, he wrote that book, If I Did It. He never paid the Goldman family any money. He just moved to Florida where he didn't have to pay. And then he got so arrogant as to think he could go and strong arm somebody for his memorabilia. And then he ended up in prison for like 5 years behind that. So he ended up passing away. And so, a lot of people were mixed. A lot of the white folks were like, good riddance. We don't like him. He's a killer. A lot of black folks on social media were saying that's not right. He's still a black man. You still need to respect him and what he did for, football and being a Heisman winner and stuff like that. So it's definitely, mixed. But one person who was speaking loud about the situation was good old Bruce, a.k.a. Caitlyn Jenner, honey. So let's go ahead and put this on the screen here. So this is what Katie Wadey had to say. So yesterday, he said, good riddance, OJ Simpson. Hashtag OJ Simpson. And so a lot of people were dragging Caitlyn about that. And so, and I had said this. I had, what I wrote? I wrote something yesterday. Hold on, let me try and pull that up. Because I wasn't feeling it, because I kind of felt like, pot meets the kettle is my thought on it. Let me share this screen. Okay. So this is what I wrote. I said, imagine killing somebody with your car while transitioning, and now you want to throw shots. Pot meet kettle. You took an innocent person's life too, Miss Mamas. Simmer down. So that's what I had to say about this situation, because Caitlyn was like, good riddance. And, again, Caitlyn is entitled to their opinion. I don't care. But I also feel like at the end of the day, you also took somebody's life. So I'm sure that family, regardless if it was an accident or not, they probably feel like good riddance to you when you pass, So Caitlyn is speaking out today because a lot of people were dragging Caitlyn yesterday. So this is what Caitlyn is saying. I know you all think it's cute to compare a fatal car accident with multiple vehicles involved to a brutal murderer. But remember, OJ said something to the effect of, I could kill Nicole and get away with it because I'm OJ Simpson. Okay. All right. So that is what Caitlyn had to say about the situation. And I think, too, like, it's very funny because I remember a few years ago it came out, like, OJ was spilling all the tea. And they were doing, like, this whole wife swapping thing. Not when she was married to, Bruce at the time, but when she was with Robert Kardashian. And OJ was talking about how he, like, basically, like, busted Kris Jenner open in the pool. And so I'm thinking, like, is he upset because OJ, smashed his ex-wife? Was he that close with Ron Goldman and Nicole Simpson? Like, I just found it very interesting that he was so upset about the situation where he's out here screaming good riddance. But again, he's entitled to his opinion. But I just thought it was very hypocritical because you too killed somebody. And now he's saying, oh, there was multiple, cars involved, but your car was the main car that caused the damage. And you were able to skate away and not be charged with anything because of your celebrity. So, again, and this is somebody who's not a fan of OJ. So this is not in defense of him. I'm not a fan of OJ at all. But I just felt like the response was very interesting, being that you yourself have taken a life. You might want to simmer down on that one. So I just kind of felt like, I think Caitlyn is low-key mad that OJ, at one point in time, was all up in them guts. And even like with the whole Kris Jenner thing, I just feel like, people say that OJ is allegedly Khloe's dad. I don't believe that. But it is very interesting that they were doing all this weird freaky deaky shit. And I don't know if Robert Kardashian ever got with Nicole. I don't know. I don't think he confirmed one way or another. But I know at one point in time he was definitely smashing Kris Jenner. So imagine how odd that is. This guy that you're having these weird, group sex activities with kills your best friend. But my thing is, why are you even sleeping with your best friend's husband in the first place? Hollywood is a weird place. It is a weird place. And then the husband ends up being the lawyer defending OJ, knowing that the husband feels that OJ has something to do with it. Very, very strange place. And that's how we were first introduced to the Kardashian, was via Robert Kardashian being the lawyer for OJ Simpson. So the whole thing is a mess. The family's a mess. Yeah, they were having their own freak-offs, child. So again, I don't, whatever. Bye, OJ. That's all I have to say about that. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats here. Let's see. Shonda S says, love you, T. Love you, too. Thank you for coming through. Kyra sent 199, says, hey, T, you look stunning. Thank you, Kyra. Appreciate you. Shelby Kiana sent 999, says, hey, Auntie, I love to see you live. Been watching you since I was 14. And you basically helped me see things deeper into different situations. Hope to meet you one day. That is awesome. And thank you so much for the support. Thank you for being an OG tea sipper. I definitely appreciate you. Sabs says, your yoga deep dive was very informative. I'm so glad you're live on my birthday. Thank you so much and happy birthday to you. I'm glad that you liked my yoga deep dive. That was definitely one of my top favorite deep dives to do and to break down that whole yoga situation. So thank you so much for just watching it with an open mind. I appreciate that. SD Joyce says, we love you. We love when you pop up. Let's get these likes up. Yes, definitely hit that like button, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's see here. Lady T says, hey, TT, love you. I'm here for whatever you do. You totally have my support. I love that you're wearing my favorite color. Cancer Moon Goddess 711 on Discord. Many blessings. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sis. Thanks for coming through. Unlimited Assurance says, it's been a while. Finally caught a live. I love your content. You're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. 24K sent $20. Says, having T go live on my 24th birthday is an awesome gift. I've been watching since senior year in high school. I'm now working as an engineer at a government hospital. That is awesome, and happy birthday to you. So thank you for coming through on your birthday. I appreciate that. Lots of birthdays in the house. And we're in Aries season, so okay. That's what's up. So now we got to talk about this situation that is going on between Doechii and Azealia Banks. So y'all know Azealia don't do nothing but get into it. People like, every now and then Azealia will go live and she'll say some real stuff that I agree with. But I can never like wholeheartedly just give her props because she's also very problematic in the things that she does and says. And sometimes she just comes off like really bitter and angry at times, right? So out of nowhere, she started beefing with Doechii. And Doechii's been out here doing her thing for a while now. She really has. So let's see here. Let's start with this page. I guess she feels like people keep comparing her because Doechii and JT, they just dropped a new song. And so a lot of people were saying that the way Doechii's cadence was, the way she was kind of rapping, it was kind of reminding them of Azealia Banks. And Azealia Banks was taking offense to that. And so she basically was leaving a comment and Doechii responded back to her. So let me go ahead and play you guys the audio of Azealia kind of going in on her. So we're going to go ahead and listen to this here. Give me just a second.
And you know what's so funny? I don't understand these new artists that think that by devoting their chance and opportunity to make a mark on the world needs to be devoted to trying to undo the marks I have left on the world. I don't understand the logic, Azealia Banks is a national treasure. Um, yeah, you got to make your mark, and it's like case in point. Like this is like Doechii girl. Like, girl, first off, I don't really think anyone thinks your music is impressive. So that means you need to go back and you need to discover who you are as an artist. These weird kind of like Robin S like do. Like I don't know why everybody associates that sound with me, because I don't have any songs. I don't have a single song that has that synth on it, right? And so let's reel it back. Let's reel it back to maybe like 2014.
Sorry, I had to mute my microphone. But then she proceeded to call her ugly. So I'm trying to find that post where she had called her ugly, which to me it's really bothersome, because Azealia is always talking about how she's picked on in the industry, especially as a dark skinned girl, and how she doesn't get the opportunities because of her skin tone compared to, like, Nicki and Cardi and Megan and, all the other light skinned rapper chicks. And then the first thing she does is then turn around and call another dark skinned girl ugly. And so this was them kind of going back and forth initially. So let me share this real quick. So they had posted the song, and so Doechii saying Swamp is giving community gator feels, singular, Chi is just the girlies and fun. Azealia comes on her post and she says definitely should be called the wannabes. Then Doechii says, Azealia Banks forever. The first time you came for me, I let it slide out of respect for my elders. It's not my fault you're selling bussy soap and I'm selling platinum records. Leave me alone, please. Okay? So, and she just was certified platinum for that song that she did with Kodak Black. That song was a bop all summer. What it is, it was all over TikTok. And so Azealia then says, TDE and Kendrick Lamar found an ugly version of her, Doechii, to go against her because she didn't apologize to Kendrick in the past. Because in the past, her and Kendrick Lamar had some beef. So she basically called this girl ugly. So now Doechii responded back to Azealia today, and she went in. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you guys what she had to say. Let me pull that up here. Okay. So she says, I use my platform to make money and inspire people. Everyone around me is inspired by me. I'm a positive influence. You used to be respected for your talents and your voice. Now you use your platform to gossip about Black artists and sell Mary Kay products. You're insufferable. It took you 3 business days to come up with that comeback just to resort to colorism. Boo! Does it not get tiring being an attack dog for the very same white gays that you allegedly vehemently despise? That's the only audience that wants to watch 2 talented Black women go at each other's throats. Your brain is fried from the meds. You're damn near immobile from the shots. Don't hurt yourself. You gossip about Black artists to stay relevant. It's sad. You definitely are an issue, just not an icon. Just not the icons. You're one post away from the psych ward. Stop it. Your diagnosis is wasted talent. I bow down. I kiss the ring, but bitch, I'm me. I hate to do you like this, but you not finna bully me out of my lane. I've done in 2 years of signing what you couldn't do in your entire career. You're welcome. Then she says, back to alter ego. So,
Clock that T.
so yeah, she definitely let Azealia have it. And I don't blame her, because it's like at this point in time, Azealia is always coming for folks. And it's giving bitter, angry, mad that my career didn't pop, mad that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And it's kind of sad because again, this is the same woman who cries all the time about colorism and, people going in on her looks and things like that. And then she turns around and does the same thing to somebody else, so she's always giving me very hypocritical vibes. Like sometimes, like I said, when she talks about certain things, she is on point. But then other times it's like, why would you come onto that girl's post and call her a wannabe? It's like she tries to like start stuff and then she'll try and play victim like, oh, I don't know why everybody's comparing us, or I don't know this and that. Either you're going to support her or you're not going to support her. But why even be on her post? You're obviously following and watching everything this young girl's doing. So I'm glad that Doechii stuck up for herself. I'm glad that she clapped back. Sometimes you got to, punch a bully dead in their damn face to get them to shut the fuck up. And I'm glad that she did that. So, yeah, that's what it is. It just gave me bully vibes. So I wasn't feeling it, especially when she wanted to come at her and talk about, like, her looks and, all that stuff. Because, again, this is what Azealia Banks cries about 24/7. So it was giving very, very hypocritical, and I wasn't feeling it whatsoever. Okay, let me see here. Dr. Michelle sent 1999. Says, your makeup is beautiful. We need a tutorial. I'm home today. I'm glad I caught this live. Thank you so much. The only thing I do is my eyebrows. I got lipstick and then I have some foundation on. So my makeup tutorial is very boring. I don't wear eyeshadow. I know a lot of people think I wear eyeshadow. I don't have on any eyeshadow. So it's just foundation, some powder, and my eyebrows. I spend the most time on my eyebrows and lips. So those are like my favorite things to do. I've gotten a little bit better at eyeshadow, but I only wear eyeshadow if I'm like going to an event. But when I come on live, I don't rarely, if ever, wear eyeshadow. But the lipstick, it's NYX and Melania Violet Volt. So those two colors mixed together. So yeah, I love my lip combos. I'm good at that. I'm not good at the eyeshadow combos, but the lip combos, yeah. But yeah, I keep it really simple. I don't like a lot of stuff on my face. I keep a very, very simple skincare routine, especially now that I'm getting older. I'm having to moisturize more. So, when I get done, I wash it off. I use what is that stuff called? I just started using it. I'm really liking it. It's like a snail mucilin. I don't know. I call it snail snot. But it's something with snails. I got some at TJ Maxx and I love it. It feels so good. I also use mermaid milk. I like that. And then I use like a nighttime like moisturizing cream. So maybe I'll do like a face wash thing. Yeah, I call it snail snot. But it feels so good. Yeah, okay, snail mucin, yeah. I know some, but I like that stuff. It's like real slimy, but it feels really, really good on the skin. So yeah, I try to wear as like little makeup as possible. Just like and I just use like not dollar store, drugstore. So like L'Oreal. I just use L'Oreal. That's it. Like I try to get into like all that stuff, like the Fenty Beauty and the, like the super high end. I don't need all that. Like I don't have a lot of, things I need to cover on my face. So I just use some L'Oreal foundation and some powder and that's it. So like I keep it as simple as possible, just so it doesn't like dry out my skin or weigh on my skin. I mean, I see people who have like 30 steps and I'm just like, and at first I thought like I was doing it wrong. Like, well, why don't, and I would try and put on all these layers and it was just too much. So I just keep it really, really simple. So just some simple L'Oreal, child. And yeah, I love Fenty. Like I love their glosses. I do have like the lip balms and stuff. So I do like her glosses. But yeah, just child, $13-14 L'Oreal products. And I'm cool with that. So to each its own. I don't think you have to spend, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Unless you want to, I don't think you need to. So yeah, I just keep it real simple. Like even like my eyebrow pencil is just L'Oreal. So I don't like a lot of stuff on my face. I've never been like a big makeup person. And I really only really started wearing makeup because of the pressure from social media, because I guess it's just what you have to do when, you know what I'm saying, when you're on YouTube. You got to put some makeup on your face. So, but thank you, sis. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Anime fan says, I'm happy to be a part of this family 8 months strong. That is awesome. Thank you so much for being a member. I appreciate you. Ella Williams at 999 says, I finally caught a live. I've been watching you for about 5 years. I love how smart and woke you are. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. You look beautiful, by the way. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for that. Kayla sent 499 says, Azealia Banks is a hypocrite and she's bitter. It's funny how she talks about how the other rap girls treat each other, but she does the same thing. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's giving like she's angry because she's not really a part of the conversation. And I think that that's what makes her upset, is that when you talk about like the top female rappers, she's just not mentioned. And I think that that really bothers her. So she tries to tear down some of the other rap girls, so I don't feel bad for her though. I'm glad, Doechii says something back to her. Doechii. Why keep calling her Doechii? Think about Dolce & Gabbana. Doechii. I'm glad Doechii said something back. So now, let's go ahead. I want to hit on this. I'm not going to be on here too long, because I know it's a Friday and y'all probably got things to do. So now, can we talk about all this stuff that's going on with Drake, and everybody is coming for him? Like right now, the whole industry is at his head. And I said something last week where I feel like a lot of people are coming at Drake because, let's keep it real, the music industry, for one, is dying. They're not making money the way they used to make money. Things are out here. It's harder to sell. Streaming services suck. They're not making no money. A lot of people are starting to look at direct to consumer, which I've been talking about for years. Streaming is dying. People are not making their money. And so you have Kanye doing direct to consumer, where you can go on to his website, www.yeezy.com or whatever, and buy his music. Recently, Pharrell dropped a new album where you had to go to his website to purchase it. So a lot of people are starting to wake up. And I've been saying that for a while. We had gotten to the point, unfortunately, where we got so comfortable as a society, myself included. But y'all remember in the early 2000s, everybody went to the wwws, right? So I remember going to like all the different blogs back in the day, www.bossip.com, www.concrete loop, www.freddie-o. You would go to all these different websites, and then we all got comfortable where we all wanted convenience. So instead of going to all these different digital websites, we would just go to the Shade Room and get all our news on the Shade Room, or just go to YouTube, or just go to, just whatever social media platform. So social media really killed a lot of, the wwws. So we have to start getting back to that. Your most important real estate online is your personal website. Even if you're not an influencer, because you never know where you may be in the future. So even if you're not an influencer, you should have your own website. I don't care if it's www, johnsnow.com. You should have your own website. Because regardless of what you may do in the future, you want to be able to have that. You want to be able to have your own website so you could, possibly sell merch and, sell things. Because a lot of these websites are they're not hidden. Even Amazon, there's just been a lot of issues with Amazon. They're constantly raising their prices. So in a minute, I'm probably going to take my teas off of Amazon and just do direct sale on my website, via Shopify. Because it's starting to be a headache now with like the storage fees and this fee and that fee. And, it's just one thing after another. And so I'm seeing that now in the music industry. So I think while I do feel like a lot of these guys have issues with Drake, I also feel like a lot of them are also jumping on this because people are trying to get their voices heard, and the industry is dying. So whatever we can do to, to sell records, and what better way to sell records and to get ears listening than to go at the top. And like I told you guys, it's very interesting that the top person, now when you think about hip hop in our modern form, The top person in hip hop is a biracial man from Toronto, Canada. He's not even from here. Whereas when we were growing up, the top people in hip hop were people like Tupac and Biggie, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z, Nas, stuff like that. So I think that there is a little bit of jealousy, but I also feel like Drake has done a lot of snake shit behind the scenes. And this is why so many people are coming at him. So if you guys don't know, not only did Kendrick come at him about, I think, going on 2 weeks now on the song with Metro Boomin and Future, then as of, I think, was it yesterday? Well then, okay, hold on. So when Kendrick came at him, then Travis Scott was trying to like throw shots at him on stage. Then you had Rick Ross unfollowing him. And then today ASAP Rocky and The Weeknd were throwing shots at him on the track with Metro Boomin and Future as well. So we're going to go ahead and listen to like some of this. Hopefully I don't get hit with copyright, but fuck it. I'm willing to take the L just because it's about Drake. So we're going to go ahead and listen to this really quick. These are just like all the shots that have been thrown at Drake like in the past week. Okay, so let me go ahead and play this TikTok. Shout out to Devin for sending me this.
Nigga Prince outlived Mike Jack, nigga boom. For all your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these nines. He gon' see Pet Cemetery, nigga.
Niggas and they feelings over women, what you heard of, son? I smashed before you birth, son. Flacco hit it first, son. Heard you drop your latest shit, funny how it just came and went.
You a nigga #1 fan, dog. Sneak this and I don't understand, dog. Pillow talking, acting like a fed, dog.
They could never just my brother's bag. When they got leaks in their operation.
Not the singer having beef. I mean, I wasn't expecting The Weeknd to come in singing and, you know what I'm saying, throwing shots and, you know, I guess. But he's saying, for the most part, he's glad he never signed with Drake. You know, ASAP is claiming that he hit his baby mama first. We all know Drake's baby mama is a porn star. And saying that other people in the industry also, you know, hit her up. Now, I will say this. I understand why ASAP is saying something about Drake. Because how many times has Drake thrown shots at Rihanna? And Rihanna's his baby's mama. So he's coming out and he's basically coming at Drake and going at Drake's baby mama. The same way Drake has disrespected his baby's mama several times. Future saying that, you know, Drake, you know, you've been throwing shots. You're over here pillow talking. And Drake seems like the type to sit up and pillow talk. Now, they're saying that their beef comes from some girl from the booby trap, that's where their beef stemmed from. But before y'all sit here and feel bad for Drake and be like, oh, everybody's piling on him, this is jealousy, they're just hating. Drake has been throwing shots at people at all these people for a long time. Drake throws his shots. He does a lot of subliminal disses. But then when somebody like a Pusha T calls him out and basically spills all his damn tea, all of a sudden, we got to get Jay Prince involved. You know what I'm saying? We need to make amends. So I really wish that the Pusha T and Drake beef would have just stayed on wax and, you know, they would have just been able to battle each other. But it's very funny because when Pusha T was coming at Drake, a lot of these same guys were acting like Pusha T was just some old hater. Y'all remember that? When Pusha T had things to say, you know, all these guys were caping for Drake and, oh, he's just jealous and he's a hater. So it's very funny now, fast forward 5 years later, now all these guys are all coming at Drake. Not saying that they don't have a reason to, but it is very interesting. Because Pusha been put it out there that Drake was fake. He had a baby with a porn star that he was hiding because, you know, he came into this industry with this whole good boy facade. He even had me fooled. Remember, I used to be a big Drake fan. Remember, you couldn't say nothing bad about Drake to me, you know, because I was a big Drake fan and I really thought that what he was saying in his music was really how he got down. Like, he just seemed like, you know, he was just like a regular guy. He wasn't acting like he was shot 9 times and he was the most gangster. You know, he was very relatable. And that's how he was able to really be marketed. Where, you know, you have white kids who are comfortable with him. You have, you know, black people who are comfortable with him. He was just all around, quote unquote, good guy. And then we started seeing his facade starting to crack like around 2017, you know, so I just think it's very interesting now how all these guys are coming at him. But I also feel like because he is the biggest, he has the most commercial support. Like everything he drops, like the labels really look out for him, the streaming services. He's like basically the king, quote unquote, of rap. And you can say, well, that's because he's commercial, he's ambiguous, whatever. They really push him. The labels really push Drake. They push him more than any other rapper out here. And I think it's starting to bother a lot of these rappers on top of the fact that Drake throws a lot of subliminal shots. So I think that's kind of why everybody's coming at him. But yeah, he's definitely an actor. And he had a lot of people like really fooled. And I think now people are waking up. But there's definitely something going on behind the scenes with people not fooling with Drake and people unfollowing him. And I'm sure he's pissed. I'm sure, he's gonna eventually clap back. The only person I've really seen him run from and not really want smoke with was Pusha T. But him and Kendrick, they've been throwing shots at each other for years. But then he'll turn around and apologize and act like he wants to be cool with Kendrick, and Kendrick doesn't want any parts of Drake. And I think what really caused their beef is when Kendrick dropped that Control verse, and he called out all the top rappers that he felt were the top, Big Crit and Meek and it was J. Cole. He called out everyone and everybody took it as, oh, okay, that's just a challenge. It's competition. This is what hip hop is. And then we go to Drake and he's talking to Angie Martinez and he's like genuinely hurt. He's like, yeah, some of the stuff he said in that album was harsh. You can't just say that on the Control verse and then see me 2 weeks later and be like, what's up, dog? Like, nah. He said some harsh things about me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is this hip hop? Like, are you about to cry? So it seems like ever since that Control verse, Drake has been in his feelings and Kendrick was just like, okay, you didn't take this as competition. You really took offense to this. And Kendrick ain't fooled with him since. So, I'm here for this. I'm here for it as long as it stays on wax. One person who's not here for this is Lil Boosie. So let's go. I'm going to read to y'all what Boosie had to say. People been dragging him all day. Because now he wants to be woke, child. So Boosie is speaking out. So this is what he has to say. He says this. Everybody gassing up rap beefs. Shake my head. All excited saying this is hip hop. Well, everyone in the crew not gonna see it like way. Oh, I hate how he writes. Child. And when it pop off, it really goes down. So when someone from one of these crews die, don't say they stupid. Shake my head. Go support them in court like y'all supported the rap beef. How would you feel if your family member died because of hip hop rap beef? I'm from Louisiana. Every rap beef I've shut the fuck up. Every rap beef I've seen people die. Y'all so happy about who gonna win or lose. But a mama gonna lose her son. Ain't none of y'all gonna go to the funeral. Shake my head. I hate when killers try to be woke. Like, Boosie. I'm not even gonna go there. Next. So everybody started dragging him. So then he came back with a reply. The truth hurts. And y'all's response is this Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, ASAP, Quavo, Chris Brown, Boosie and them are people ain't like that. Shake my head. Okay. Y'all keep thinking that. He wrote thinking like thank you. Judging them book by its cover or get you put under a cover. Z. First of all, I think he's just mad because nobody looks at him, as any type of... At this point, he's just a meme in rap. He's more known for Vlad TV interviews than his music. Nobody is asking, Boosie from the boot to get up on the track. We don't care. I don't care what Lil Boosie has to say about anything, especially when half your music is about killing other black men. Having, shooters and kill. Like, he acts like he's the J. Cole all of a sudden of rap. Like, your music is not uplifting. Your music has probably caused death and strife in your community. Like, Boosie, have a tall glass and shut the fuck up. It's always, the ones who ain't nobody talking to who got something to say in rap. Either jump on the track and diss Drake or just drop some other music. Move around. Like, stop acting like your music is so positive and like it's leaving this positive mark on the hood. First of all, the rappers that you're talking about, half of them are square. They're not gonna pop off. You know what I'm saying? They're just artists. Like, this is not like, why are they acting again like this is some type of King Von, Lil Durk versus NBA Youngboy and Lil Tim? Like, we know both them crews got screws loose, but we've never heard Kendrick Lamar, on the streets in a shootout. We've never heard that from J. Cole. We've never heard that from, from any of these people for the most part. I mean, the only one that was involved in the shootout was Quavo, Unfortunately, Takeoff ended up getting killed. But for the most part, all these people have just kept it on wax. I don't understand why he's so upset. I think he's more upset that he's just not a part of the conversation. When it comes to like the top people in hip hop, he's not on that list. And I'm not saying Boosie doesn't have some hits, because Boosie do have some hits that I personally like. But when you think about like the top 10 MCs, like nobody ever mentions Lil Boosie. So I can't take him seriously, child. You can't be out here trying to preach peace when your music is anything but. So I thought that was funny. It's the hypocrisy for me. And then gonna get mad when people call him out. I swear, these rappers are a trip. They really are. So I'm waiting to see if Drake ends up replying, or if he ends up calling his daddy, from Mob Ties to come and intervene. Jay Prince. I wonder if he's going to call a whole meeting like, y'all can't be out here picking on Drake. Because that's what he did with the Pusha T thing. And I thought that was such trash. Like, that was Drake's opportunity to show us that he really could rap and go back at Pusha T. And he knew that he couldn't. So it's like all of a sudden J. Cole had to get involved. I'm not J. Cole. Jay Prince had to get involved. And I'm still, as a J. Cole fan, I'm not feeling the apology and the whole, I already stated my opinion on Monday, how I felt about that. But I feel like at the end of the day, Drake has done something to all of these guys behind the scenes. Because these are the same guys, Drake has helped every last one of them get a number one. Let's keep it real. Kendrick really got more known and more popular when Drake brought him out on tour with them. You know what I'm saying? And then they had that song Poetic Justice, which I loved. Drake and Future had a whole album together. I went to the Drake and Future concert when they came to Minneapolis. Drake was hella late, but I was there. He's had Sicko Mode with Travis Scott. So it's just kind of weird. Like, these are like songs and, collaborations as he's done with all these artists. The Weeknd, he's had a lot of hits with The Weeknd. So it's just weird that all these people are now turning on him. So something is not right. So I feel like, for him to have helped these guys get a number one and really like put some of them on the map, because A$AP Rocky for a long time felt like he was indebted to Drake. He even said that when nobody else was fucking with the A$AP mob, Drake reached out to him, was like, I really fuck with y'all. I really like y'all's music. And, bought him out on tour, took him to the Versace store and everything else. So Drake really looked out for a lot of these guys. So something is going on. Something is going on. So either these guys are just fake as hell, or Drake has done a lot of really sneaky stuff behind the scenes. So I'm not trying to hear nothing that Boosie's talking about. I'm just not. At some point in time, somebody said something's afoot. Yeah, at some point in time, Drake to me is the common denominator in all of this. Come on, for The Weeknd to come out singing and throwing shots in the song, he's armed. He's not even a rapper. He's a singer. How you gonna be singing a diss? When I heard that, I fell the hell out. I'm like, not him singing a whole diss track to Drake. So something is going on. Something is going on. Let me read these super chats here. MG says, T, you're my all-time favorite creator. YouTube is not letting me send super chats, but you're top tier. My name is Malia. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through, sis. That one was able to come through, so I'm happy about that. Lord Flawless sent $2, says Azealia is very talented and people do bite her style. Yeah, I do think Azealia Banks is talented. I'm not going to take that from her. But I think the problem is Azealia has burnt a lot of bridges. Okay? And like I said, you got to, like, when I don't care what line of work you're in, right? I don't care if it's the music industry, corporate, you know, you don't want to burn bridges because, like I always tell y'all, the same people you see on your way going up when you're climbing that ladder is the same folks that you'll see on your way coming down. So you don't ever want to burn bridges. And it seems like she's done a lot of that where she's just disrespected people. So many artists, like she's always has something negative to say, you know. So unfortunately, you know, she's getting what she puts out there. I think had she just kept it about the music instead of beefing with all the girls, she'd be a lot bigger than what she is. Because Azealia is very, very talented. I would never take that from her. Let's see here. Quisha, I think I said that right, sent $9.99, says, the industry is actually copying Ryan Leslie with the direct-to-consumer thing. Sad how they laughed at him. That is a great point. There's been a lot of people who have been doing that for a while. And yes, and see that this is the difference. Let's talk a little bit more about the whole direct-to-consumer. You have a set, well, I think initially, right, you have a lot of people who are gassed by numbers. You have a lot of people who they want those awards like, oh, you know, I had the most streams on Spotify and I'm number 1 on the Billboard. I had the most streams on Apple Music. You know, people like vanity numbers is what I like to call them, right? And those numbers don't really mean anything. And it even took me a while to realize that in what I do, where people get gassed like, oh, well, this person has 1 million followers on Instagram. And so a lot of companies would reach out to influencers and celebrities and be like, oh, we'll pay you $10,000 to shout this out and shout that out. And then what they were finding out is that they paid this celebrity or this influencer $10,000, but then that post literally has maybe 100 comments. How do you have 100 comments on a post and you have, you know, 4 or 5, 10 million followers? But then what they found out is that a lot of people are buying bots. They're buying fake followers. A lot of their followers are not genuine. And so even now, a lot of these companies are now reaching out to more micro influencers and people who actually have genuine followers, who don't have bots and things like that. So you have people who are stuck on the vanity numbers. They're stuck on, you know, their streams and things like that. But when you think about it, you can't even really calculate how these streams work, let alone how they pay out. Like, what is 0.9% of a dollar, right? Because that's what they pay out in these streams. And they can't even break it down and explain it properly to these artists. Whereas when it was a physical CD, okay, the CD cost $9.99, you knew that you got a certain percentage of that CD. And I think streaming is just a big hustle for these record labels. And they made it seem important because of the vanity numbers. But people like Ryan Leslie and other independent artists were smart. They realized that it's not about the vanity numbers, because who cares if you have 10 million streams if you're only walking away with $3,000? Imagine if you have 10 million people, right? Let's just say 10 million people actually follow you, listen to your music. Imagine if all of those people paid $1 for one of your songs or paid $9 for your album. Now that money's coming directly to you. So I think a lot of these platforms are getting nervous, especially the streaming platforms, because a lot of these mainstream artists are starting to wake up more. And I think the consumers are being smarter. Hip hop is not selling what it used to sell. Even because before, a lot of rappers and singers, they made their money touring, right? But because a lot of these hip hop artists are not respecting their fans, a lot of them are not even able to sell out arenas like that. J. Cole and Drake have been doing awesome, so I'm not even including them in that. But look how many concerts have had to be canceled over the past year. Moneybagg Yo, Lil Durk. Because they know that when they go to a hip hop concert, they're not getting quality. They're going to be late as hell. They're going to be barely rapping. They're not really going to put on a show. There's barely any pyrotechnics, you know, and they've just gotten lazy. Whereas like when you go to a Beyonce concert, she's putting on a show. When you go to a Drake concert, he's putting on a show. When you go to a Taylor Swift concert, they're putting on shows. So a lot of consumers are like, I'd rather save my money up and go see Beyonce or Drake or Taylor because I'm going to get my money's worth. I don't want to pay somebody $400 to just walk back and forth across the stage with their entourage mumbling or forgetting the words and then saying, here, y'all rap it. No, bitch, I paid you $400. You need to know all the words, Roddy Ricch. Like what is this? You have one job. I'll rap with you, but don't depend on us. We're here to watch you. I don't want to watch the audience rap you know what I mean? It's just gotten lazy. Oh yeah, Nikki too. Thank you, Rumi. Nikki's concert, I got to give her props. She's been selling out left and right. From the videos that Malachi won't damn stop posting in Telegraph, her concert looks lit. Beautiful backdrop. She's taking it a lot more seriously because people are not playing anymore. We're living in hard economic times, and I'm not spending my money on nonsense. They said Lauryn Hill had a concert the other day. She was over like 4 hours late. Who the hell is still going to a Lauryn Hill concert in 2024? I refuse. Now I saw that Essence. That's just because she happened to be there. But I would never be like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and just book a Lauryn Hill, go buy some tickets to see Lauryn Hill. Absolutely not. Because she does not respect her fans. What makes you think that your time is more valuable than mine? I was pissed at the Drake concert. And I haven't been to a Drake concert since. We had work the next day. And the concert started at 7. You not showing up till 10. Half the audience has to leave because they have to get up and go to work. You have to respect your consumer base. So I think with the whole direct to consumer thing, why a lot of big artists now are now trying to jump on this is because they're losing money. A lot of people are not going to these rap concerts anymore like they used to. So now it's like, well, let me see if I can just sell directly to my fans. And I'm sure the hardcore fans will buy, but you have a lot of people who are like, no, I'd rather do direct to consumer with the indie artists who have been doing this because y'all were so stuck on Vanity Matrix. So keep that same Vanity Matrix energy with the streaming companies. But yeah, you're going to see it a lot more. Somebody said Schoolboy Q was late when I attempted to see him and I left. Yeah, it's really, it's not okay. Monique says every artist is late. Yeah, I can give you an hour late. Not every artist is late because I've been to concerts where artists were there on time. So that's not fair to say every artist is late. But I can even give an hour. You know what I'm saying? Because things happen, right? So I don't expect somebody to start right at 7 o'clock on the dot. Things happen, sound check, outfit. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. But I'm sorry, 4 hours late, inexcusable. 3 hours late, inexcusable. That's not okay. Because again, I wasn't late when I paid my money. Did they not take my money off my credit card instantaneously? So if I can't just come and pay when I feel, you don't get to just show up 4 hours later. So not every artist is late. We're not going to do that. You have a lot of artists who are very professional and on time. Yes, Janet Jackson is one. Yeah, Janet, the times I've seen Janet, she's been pretty much on time. Like I said, I can give an artist an hour grace. But anything 2, 3, 4, you're playing in my face. And it's not okay because people spend their money. And again, somebody said SWV was on time. Good. Barry White was on. Not Barry. I know that's right, Barry White. They said Barry White was on time. I know that's right. Somebody said Madonna was 2 hours late. She should be ashamed of herself. Mary J. Blige was on time. Chris Brown was not late. Good. So yeah, there's quite a few people who come out on time. Elton John was on time. TLC was on time. Great. Burna Boy was on time. See? They said Beyonce is always on time. Not somebody saying Barry White, child. They said Barry White was on time. I'm not mad at him. Yeah, so, like I said, I get it. Things happen. I can give you an hour grace. Anything past an hour is insulting. They say Fantasia gives a good show. Yeah, Fantasia's cool. Kodak was late and high as a kite. I believe it. That's what I'm saying. Again, hip hop. They're not respecting their fans. And that's why a lot of people are just, they're over it. And now they're starting to see a drop in their streams. They're starting to see that the money's not moneying. So I think that's part of where these beefs are coming in too. Yeah, I went to go see Ashanti and Nelly maybe like 2 months ago. They were on time. They killed it. That whole concert was good. T.I. was there. They were all on time. The old school people, I think they have more. Well, I can't say that because Lauryn Hill doesn't care about time. So I can't necessarily say old school. But I think the older artists tend to respect their fans a bit more outside of Lauryn Hill. I think these young artists kind of take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you have to be on time. Somebody said Juvenile was late. I know his old ass wasn't late. He need all the damn, he need all the concerts and everything. He need all the fans he can get. Juvie, I'm going to need you to be on time. You ain't had a hit in a long ass time. Lady Gaga was on time. They said 50 Cent was on time. Yeah, my son went to go see 50 Cent. He said he did really good when he was out here in the Twin Cities. My son really liked the concert. Okay. Anita Baker was late. But yeah, no, I think we're going to see a lot more of the direct to consumer with a lot of these artists. They're trying to squeeze out the middleman with these streaming companies. And let's not forget, these record labels have taken all their music off of TikTok. And now what you have is these record labels, they're about to start their own social media platforms. So what they're going to say is, okay, all y'all who want to dance to our music and do covers and stuff like that, now come to UMG's social media page and possibly be discovered and all that nonsense. So the whole landscape of social media, music, entertainment, everything is changing. Everything is changing. The money is not moneying. And a lot of people are finally waking up and seeing that. Somebody said Juvie was moving in slow motion. Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. Moving slow. That was my jam back in the day. I like it like that. Working that back. She don't know how to act. Slow motion for me. Slow. Don't get me started, honey. Don't get me started no Juvenile songs. She a dick thrower. Her neck and her back. Let me stop. Okay, so let me go ahead. I want to talk about this situation with Tyrese and Dave Ramsey. So they are really going in on Gen Z. So I want to go ahead and hit on that really quick here. We have over 7,000 people in the house. Shout out to y'all. Please hit that like button, y'all. So Dave Ramsey just seems to hate millennials and Gen Z. He seems to he always has an attitude concerning them. So we're going to watch what he had to say, and then we're going to watch what Tyrese also had to say. A lot of shade is being thrown towards Gen Z and millennials. So I'm not going to play the whole thing. We're just going to watch a snippet. He was on Fox not too long ago, Fox Business, and basically he was saying that, a lot of younger workers are whiny, and that basically a lot of people from Gen Z, they can't buy a house because they're lazy. So we're going to go ahead and watch.
I don't use, but it says hashtag Dave Ramsey wouldn't approve. And it's a bunch of young people who essentially openly flout your recommendations about living more frugally and saving. And I'm just going to let you respond, but I think that's going to blow up in their face. Because once you start living high on the hog, you live that life, you want to live that lifestyle for the rest of your life, and you're not going to have the money to do it. But what say you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything on social media, you can find a lot of fun stuff on me. I'm real good clickbait, so it works really good. So have at it. But yeah, and it's always been that way. I've been doing this for 35 years, and there's always a group of people who say you can't do it. And so the system has to change, and they're a victim, and they're entitled. And, you know, TikTok gives them a voice, or Instagram gives them a voice, or whatever, but it's always been that way. On talk radio, we gave them a voice. They could call in and scream at me, and it was fun. It made great radio. But the truth is that this Gen Z generation and the millennials who caught a bunch of crap are excellent generations. What we're seeing with both of them is there is a segment of them that is very serious and very good with their money. They believe in it. They believe in saving, they believe in investing, that they believe in the free enterprise system. And then there's a segment of them that just sucks. They're just awful. I mean, their participation trophy, they live in their mother's basement, and they can't figure out why they can't buy a house because they don't work, you know, and stuff like that. But I've got 400 millennials, 500 millennials working on our team here at Ramsey. They're incredible. I love them. Gen Z all over the building. I love them. They're fabulous. And so it's just this one segment of whiners on TikTok or something that pops up because they don't want to face the fact that they got to control the person in their mirror.
So true. You know, these young people.
Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and play you guys what Tyrese had to say. So Gen Z been getting it all week. Let me find the Tyrese clip here. Give me just a second. Okay. Here we go.
Who is broke. In today's world, you'd have to have every excuse in the fucking world for you not getting it. Let me put some perspective on you. When I was a kid, nobody was making money playing video games. Nobody. When I was a kid, they was not paying you any kind of money to play basketball or football in sports while in college. When I was a kid, there was no such thing as getting a shipping business off the ground while putting all of the things that you purchase on Alibaba or out of China into any warehouses in Amazon, and you not have to have your garage or any type of building full of all of the materials that you're selling in order for you to make money. This is a lazy generation right now. And become a millionaire. You could be 19 years old and become a millionaire. It's about the hustle. There is no excuse for anybody right now in today's world to not get it. They have these marketing affiliate programs where you could post somebody else's product, and whatever you end up selling from your post, you're able to get money from it. Nobody is delivering any packages to your house. You're not liable to get anything delivered. You got no responsibility whatsoever to do anything. What is the excuse that anybody who is broke?
Okay, let me come back on the screen here. So you guys just heard what Dave Ramsey had to say and Tyrese. So for y'all who don't know who Dave Ramsey is, he has been social media forever. He gives like financial advice. You know, I guess he teaches people like, you know, how to like save up to buy a home and, you know, fix your credit. He's like a male Susie Orman. If you guys remember her back in the day, who would give financial advice. He's like that. He's on YouTube. But he always comes off like he's just like he just comes off as an angry boomer. I'm going to say this. I feel like Gen Z, not even so much millennials, but like definitely Gen Z, they get a bad rap when it comes to like working. You do have a segment of Gen Z who, you know, and that's like in every generation, right? Even boomers. I'm sure you had some bum ass boomers who didn't want to work. They just want to sit at home all day and drink wine. I don't know. But yeah, you do have some Gen Zers who don't take advantage of the opportunities. I think things are a little bit easier for Gen Z when it comes to technology, right? So whereas if you guys want to know how to like start a business or, you know, build something, you guys can just go to the University of YouTube and, you know, everything is at the touch of your fingertips. Whereas when we were growing up, we'd have to go to a library. We'd have to, ask somebody. Things weren't as accessible to us. But just because they have more access to technology does not mean that their plight is easier, right? Because I know a lot of Gen Zers, including my son, his friends, they all work hard, and I think we need to stop weighing success for young people on what influencers do. I think we do that a lot. And, and I've been guilty of that before where I feel like, well, look at, such and such. Look at Kai Cenat. Look at, this influencer. Look at this beauty guru. Well, it's just like winning the lottery. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of guys out here who wish they could, be like Kai. They went and got all this beautiful equipment and they're gaming every day, but they're not getting the views. They're not getting, the money. They're not getting what Kai lucked up. That's just what it is. He lucked up. Just like Tyrese, you lucked up. Remember he was that little bald-headed boy in the back of the damn Coca-Cola commercial. And that commercial took off and everybody was like, who's that dude? He was so cute. He had them beautiful teeth. And that kind of helped his career. So he kind of lucked up being at the right place at the right time. And I think it's unfair when we compare Gen Z to like influencers and people, who are entrepreneurs or who work online. One, the online world is very oversaturated. So if you got in early, then yeah, you're good. But then you can't turn around and then look down at the people who didn't get in early enough and be like, you're not trying hard enough. Or, you can just click on affiliate links. Just post affiliate links all day. Affiliate links were popular like 10 years ago. Like people don't really make a whole lot of money off of affiliate links anymore. That's not new, So it's like, I think we need to look more at like encouraging people instead of like constantly knocking them down, and also understand that they're living in a whole different world. Like, yes, I do see them complaining a lot on TikTok, but I would be complaining too if everything that I was told to do, do the right thing, go to college, treat people right, what I'm saying? And then you do all that and you have nothing to show for it. Imagine, being told to go and get a 4-year degree and get student loans, and then you come out and there's no job. There's no job placement. Like, at least when we were younger and we went to school, there was job placement. Not everybody wants you to do free internships if you can even get an internship. So they're living in a whole different world. So I do think it's very unfair to say that, they're just lazy. Like Dave Ramsey, that's what kind of bothers me with him, is that he's always so quick to say, well, they're just lazy. They don't want to work. But let's not act like the cost of housing right now is what it was even 4 years ago, let alone 10, 20, 30 years ago. The cost of housing is so expensive. The interest rate right now is so expensive. So I think sometimes people get into a position and they forget what it is to just be regular. What it is, like what it was for them before those checks started coming in. That's why I always hope that I never get to that point where I just forget what it is to be that girl who just struggled, who just had a dream one day to make content and, I lucked up and this became what I do for a living. But I still remember that girl who got up every morning at 4:30 in the morning, got dressed, drove 40 minutes to work to be at my desk at 5:30 in the morning to do IT. And before then, doing customer service. And I think sometimes people get in a position and they're so far removed. And so on the outside looking in, it seems so easy. And it's easy if you have a push. It's easy if you have a connection. If you have, your family has generational wealth and they're able to invest in your product line. It's very easy. But for the average person whose parents just work a 9 to 5, they don't have any connections in the industry in Hollywood with, venture capitalists, they're really struggling to just make ends meet day to day. And I think it's unfair to just like paint a whole generation with just one brush and say that they're lazy, and I know even for me, when I have my Zoom meetings and I talk to a lot of people on Zoom in my Discord who are Gen Z and younger, and I see how hard they work, and they're going to school and they're balancing jobs. Some of them are doing jobs that they don't like. We had to talk off the ledge the other day because he's ready to go postal. And we had to like literally like pray for him, like, just if you need to take a break, switch jobs, but understand, well, whatever job you work at, there's going to be conflict. Like, people are dealing with real situations, and it's so easy to be like, oh, you're not working hard enough, you're not trying hard enough, all y'all do is whine. When people feel like they are working, they're working upwards of more than 40 hours a week, and they're barely making ends meet. So it's very easy to say that, and it's not okay. So I don't agree with that, because if that's the case, Tyrese, why were you crying about child support? If you have it like that and everything is, wonderful, and you got money coming in like that, then why were you petitioning the court to not pay child support to your baby mama? So it's like, obviously you don't have it like that either. Everybody's trying to work and make it. Because again, if the industry was as sweet as they make it seem like it is, you wouldn't have rappers having their hands in every little pot. If they really had it like that. People who have it like that, like, think about it. The people who run Warner Music Group, like Lucian Grange and all them, they don't have to have a side hustle being a fucking podcaster. They don't have to have a side hustle like Jason Derulo dancing on TikTok. People who really have wealth, they don't have to have side hustles because they've made enough wealth for them in their next generation that they're good. But this is why a lot of these entertainers have, podcasts and YouTube channels, and they're cooking and they're selling weave and bedding and, you know what I mean? Because again, everybody's just trying to make ends meet. So to all the quote unquote regular people out there working a 9-to-5 job, don't allow the Dave Ramseys, the Tyrese, or any influencer make you feel bad for your regular life. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if all this ends tomorrow, a lot of these people wouldn't have what they have. Period. So instead of like trying to like talk down to people, be grateful for the position that you're in. Be grateful for, what God has blessed you with, because everybody has their own journey, their own path that they have to walk in life. So I don't like that. I don't understand like this whole thing of this generation being lazy. There's certain things that this generation does that gets on my nerves, but I can't say that they're necessarily lazy. The average person who's not on social media, because the ones that we do see who are lazy, they're doing goofy shit to try and go viral. But that's not the average 21 to 29-year-old. The average person who's not trying to be an influencer and do stupid shit, they're actually out here working. And they're working a lot. And they're trying to make ends meet. And yes, some of them still have to live at home with their parents because rent is not cheap. Like when we were growing up, we could just move into an apartment and just pay first month's rent and maybe a deposit of a few $100s and we were good. Now they want first month's rent. They want last month's rent. Them deposits are minimum $1,000. So even to move into your own place, you're starting off in debt. You have to have a good anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 just to move into a place. And that does not include the next month's rent plus utilities. So if you got people who can barely afford rent, how can you expect them to afford a home that, a decent home in a decent neighborhood, minimum $500,000, if not more. So I just think it's very delusional. I think it's very, very delusional. Oh yeah, application fees. Yep, regardless if you get in or not, you still got to pay these application fees, which are also sometimes a hustle. And no furniture. Somebody says Gen Z is not lazy. They're just not the BS millennials and they're not going for the BS that millennials and Gen X fell for. A lot of us are drowning in student debt and still can't afford a house. Yes. And I honestly feel like Gen Z watched a lot of their parents and aunts and uncles struggle, and they're not interested. Because I will never forget when I had the conversation with my youngest son. Like, I was really shocked when he was like, because he was getting all these college offers. So I'm super excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, you'll get to go to a 4-year and live in a dorm. Because I never got that experience, right? Because, by the time I was about to go to college, I was pregnant and stuff. So it's like, I had to be a mom first. So I'm like trying to live vicariously through him. And he was like, yeah, I'm not going to a 4-year college. He was like, I want to go to trade school. And I was like, Oh, wow. So I had to kind of get over it. And he was like, why would I want to go to a 4-year college, get into a bunch of student loan debt? I'm lucky if I find a job. I'd rather go to trade school and get paid, because a lot of these trade programs will pay you to take, different classes and to, learn the trade. And he was like, I'll get out in less than a year or two and be making decent money. And I was like, you know what? That just makes so much sense. You know what I'm saying? So he flat out, he's like, he's not interested in going to a 4-year school. And I was like, hey, whatever you want to do, I'm going to stand by you because it's your life. So I think a lot of Gen Z kids are looking at that. They're looking at their parents. Okay, mom, you have a bachelor's degree, but you're only making $15 an hour. I can make that at Starbucks. So I don't think they're being lazy. I think they're thinking smarter. And even like with a lot of my friends, who went to like 4-year colleges and they pledged and, and all that stuff. And I asked them, a lot of them said that if they had it to do over, they would not have gone to a 4-year college. A lot of them are still paying student loans. So I think people are looking at the mistakes of other people and they're working smarter. And I think you have to look at that with everything you do in life. Like I always tell y'all, learn from the mistakes of others so that way you're not destined to repeat them. So I don't care if this is like real life, like, a job or going to college or even in the industry. Even recently, Fat Joe was out here talking about how, don't even sign to a label. Be independent. A lot of artists are saying this. He said even now to this day, he still owes the label money. That man ain't dropped an album in a long time under his label. It's like the labels are a bank. So you're choosing, either you want to get more visibility by signing with the label because they'll push you more mainstream and you'll get the vanity numbers and all that stuff. But is it really worth it if you end up in a bunch of debt when it's all said and done? Whereas if you're independent, right, you may not have, 1 million followers, but let's say you have a strong 1,000 people who fuck with your music. They like you for you. And they're willing, like every time you drop a new single, they're willing to pay you $5. That adds up every single time. That's tangible money right there from a small fan base. Rather than having millions of people know your name, but you're in debt. They own your publishing. They own your masters. So I think this generation is just working a lot smarter. And, some of the older generation are looking at it like, oh, they're being lazy. They're being whiny. No, they're clocking y'all's tea. They're not falling for the okie doke. And I can't do nothing but respect that. Nobody really should be going to college unless you're going to college for something meaningful. Unless you're going to college to be a doctor or work in some type of technological field. Other than that, you can literally learn a lot of stuff from the University of YouTube. Why get into debt to go to college for business? You can get with somebody who runs a successful business and, see if they'll let you shadow them and take you under their wing. Like, why go into debt for like silly degrees? It doesn't make any sense to go to school for an arts degree. So you have to really, really think smarter. You do. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree with what Dave Ramsey or what Tyrese was saying. Yes, they do. You guys do have a lot of opportunities now through technology, right? You guys are able to, do certain things that we didn't have when we were younger, but that doesn't mean that it's easier. And especially now that things are so oversaturated. That's why I was saying years ago, put a teacup, if y'all remember me telling y'all years ago that a lot of these celebrities are now flooding to social media and they're going to be taking visibility away from regular people. And I'm like, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, a TikTok, whatever, you need to start now. Because once they switch that algorithm, it's going to be focused on the celebrities. And people thought I was hating. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm speaking up for the regular people. I get views regardless. I've been here a long time. I've paid my debt. I'm going to get views. I'm going to get followers. But what about the new girl who's coming up and she wants to start doing hair videos like how I started? What about the new girls who want to be beauty gurus? And now you have Sky Jackson is the new hair girl. Now you have all these celebrities showing you, their makeup routines. Instead of like the regular girls who came up like Jackie Aina and, so many other women. So now they're taking over social media. So for Tyrese to say that, your counterparts are now the new social media influencers. It's not even regular people anymore. So now regular people have to find another hustle because all these hustles are being taken over. Yeah, it's crazy. DJ Magnus said enough of the celebrity nonsense. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Vogue with the skincare routines. Yep. Everything now is corporate. It really is. You know, even when we used to have like the YouTube awards, it used to go to regular YouTubers. Now the YouTube awards are going to like Will Smith and like all these celebrities who did not even help to build this platform. It was the regular man and woman who built this platform. And now all you see on the homepage is the Jimmy Fallons and the Jimmy Kimmels and, you know, all the corporate stuff. Now, remember when it was the regular people who were doing sports commentary? I used to love watching just the regular YouTubers talk about, you know, the latest basketball game and what they thought about this and the NBA. Now you have all of these ex-athletes, not knocking them, but it is annoying now that every fucking professional basketball player has a podcast and a YouTube channel. Where are the regular guys I used to watch? They don't even come up in the algorithm anymore. All I see now when I go to look up sports commentary is Chad Ochocinco, Club Shay Shay, Gilbert Arenas. Like, they're doing all the commentary now. The regular, like, the guys who were doing the sports commentary before, you don't even, like, you have to memorize their name and look up their name because they don't even come up anymore. So, like, everything is being taken over by, you know, people who already have a brand because it's easier because they're already famous or, you know, they're celebrities, things like that. Whereas before it was the regular man and woman. And they stayed in their lane by playing sports or by acting in movies or by singing. But because those industries are dying, like I've been saying for years, that those industries are dying and falling by the wayside, now they've all come into these spaces that was meant for regular people before. It was regular people who built up social media. Now all you see on your feed is curated stuff by celebrities. So it's very silly for Tyrese to say that, to act like regular people just, you know, like a random person right now can just start a podcast or start a business selling stuff and they're just going to go viral. They're just going to, you know, have just a bunch of sales because they just decided to start a business today. Unless they have a lot of money for advertising to pay to these platforms, it's very hard for people to just start their stuff unless they go viral. You probably have a better chance on TikTok because TikTok's algorithm is a bit more fair than the other ones. But social media has been taken over by people who have corporate branding behind them. So it's crazy. Somebody said, I don't want to see any celebrities in my feed. Yana said that. Yeah, it's like, it's so hard. Like, I used to watch so many, like, amateur guys who would, like, you know, keep it real and they were just funny, you know, like personalities with sports. You don't even see them. You don't see them anymore. And again, I'm not like knocking any of the platforms because I do like Club Shay Shay. You know, I watch Club Shay Shay depending on what guest he has on there. So I'm not like knocking it. But isn't it very interesting how, you know, they basically platformed him. They gave him Club Shay Shay. You know, everything is perfectly set up, you know, cameras, lights. He just sits down and does interviews just like Cam Newton. He has his own show now. And it's just like, where were the regular people who were here a few years ago who were talking from their living rooms and having real dialogue? Not saying that they're not, but I'm just saying we're the regular, they don't come up on my feed anymore. And because I can't tell you how many times I've seen comments, people being like, oh my God, I used to watch you 2 years ago. I'm glad I just happened to find you. I haven't seen your videos in years because we don't get pushed anymore. I'm not corporate. I'm not backed by anybody. And I don't want to be. I'm not interested. This is Lovelyti TV. That's it. So, I mean, I've seen comments where people are like, I lost you. I couldn't think of your name or, you know, they were thinking about me and I just happened to pop up on their feed. But it's a lot of people now that will pop up and I'm like, oh, why I haven't seen this person in years? Because everything is curated now. It's all celebrities and comedians and athletes now that you see on the feed. And again, I'm not knocking anybody's, because a lot of these podcasts and shows are good. So I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying, like, it's not fair. Why can't we see everybody on the feed? Because before the celebrities came, we were able to see regular people on our feed all the time and regular influencers. You know, so I think it should just be fair. Like, yeah, good. Tell me Club Shay Shay's new video's out. But also let me know that, you know, Joe Schmo's new video's out as well. Especially if I'm subscribed to Joe Schmo. That's the part that's crazy. Like, these are people I'm subscribed to, and they do not come up first at all. I have to literally go to their channels and be like, oh, okay, Troyce just dropped a new video, or Anomaly dropped a new video. And if it's like, if it doesn't come up in my feed, I won't see it. I have to literally go searching for it. Be like, damn, he done dropped 4 videos. I haven't seen it. Armand done dropped some videos. I haven't seen it. I have to go to their feed. And it didn't used to be like that, is all I'm saying. So I don't like how Tyrese is acting like the level playing field on social media is so easy. It's not a level playing field on social media. And it hasn't been like that in at least 5 to 6 years. So y'all hold y'all's head up. Don't let these folks make y'all feel no type of way at all. You know what I'm saying? If you know that every morning you're getting up and you're going to work and you're getting and you're grinding and you're trying to make a way for your family and your kids and hell, just for yourself. Because sometimes it's hard just taking care of yourself. You know, give yourself a pat on the back because you could be out here doing worse. So I'm going to give anybody props who's out here just trying to, you know, live their life, take care of themselves, feed their families, and they're going about it a legal way. They're going about it the right way. Because, you know, people could be out here doing the wrong things. They could be out here moving weight and selling ass and, you know, doing all types of stuff. So, you know, we need to stop knocking regular people and making them feel like, you know, they're lazy if they don't own a home, or they're lazy if they don't have this and that, when some people are literally just trying to keep their head above water. So shout out to all the Gen Zs out here. Like, I respect a lot of people in Gen Z because I know how hard y'all work. I know how hard my son works. I know how, you know, he leaves at 7 o'clock in the morning and, you know, gets back home by 5 and, you know, he might have dinner. He'll go straight upstairs and go to bed and then have to do it again the next day. And I did the same thing. That's life. You know, so people need to understand their privilege. You know, even me sitting here, this is a privilege. I don't take this as, you know, oh, you know, I'm that girl. No, this is a privilege. Because again, if YouTube ends tomorrow, then what? I mean, I got, you know, backup stuff. You know, I got Discord. I got, you know, my website, you know, my app, all that stuff. But still, it's very easy to talk from a place of privilege. Dave Ramsey is rich because of YouTube. You're rich from ad revenue from YouTube. So yeah, you can go buy a home at 8% interest and it's not going to affect you. You can afford to pay $6,000, $7,000 a month, you know what I'm saying, for an $800,000 home. The average person cannot afford that. So people need to understand their privilege. Let me read some of these super chats here before I go. I think I covered everything. Yep, I did. Let's see here. Valentina G08 says, thankfully, I'm nosy. YouTube didn't notify me you were live. See? No notifications. I get that all the time. So I'm glad you were nosy and you just happened to pop up on my channel. I appreciate it. Because, yeah, they don't really notify. But make sure you download my app. My app will give you notifications. So make sure you download it. Let's see here. Lena Smithson 5 says, to my Midwest play cousin, my very first super chat, been rocking with you since 2015. Much love always. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sis. Thanks for coming through. Let's see here. Shonda S sent $9.99 says, say it in the Discord, please. Say what in the Discord? I'm confused. Okay, well, thank you, Shonda. I appreciate you, sis. Cameron Roach sent $15. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you. Brittany D says, if Pusha T comes back, he made 50 Cent Drake's career. Ask Ja Rule, love you, T. Get your T money directly. Yeah, I'm really thinking about moving. I agree. If Pusha T comes back, it'll be a wrap. It'll be a wrap. Yeah, I'm really thinking about moving my stuff off of Amazon. The fees are ridiculous, and it's a bit much. So I'm trying to work on a few different things. Plus, I'm trying to redo my office. So I got a lot of things in the works that I'm just working on here. So I'll keep y'all posted either way. Let's see here. Mache sent $9.99. Thank you so much, sis. Kirky Circle sent 10. Says, T, do you think Diddy will actually go to jail? I'm thinking they raided him just to collect blackmail. I think he'll skate free of the charges. Unfortunately, have a good weekend. To be honest, I'm just sitting by waiting to see what's next. I don't know. But I do feel like they probably did go in there to go grab some stuff because, Diddy had a lot of connections with a lot of people high up. So they probably wanted to make sure that certain people are not on those tapes. I wouldn't be surprised. But there's definitely something going on at that camp. But, everything's a waiting game. Everything's a waiting game. But I still don't like him. I don't like him at all. I will never be a fan of Diddy. I haven't been a fan since I was a child. Once I peeped how he got down, how he treated people. So I feel no ways whatever happens to him criminally. He deserves. Let's see here. So Tony sent $100. Thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate you. He says, hey, sexy. Just wanted to acknowledge how beautiful you look. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Tony. That means a lot. Let's see here. Stats sent $2. Says Azealia Banks just needs to start a podcast. We got enough celebrity podcasts, child. She'll be on there ranting and raving, not getting to the point. But thank you for the super chat. Natasha Johnson sent 20. Big Ed Back Hair. That's a funny name. Says, T, this is my first super chat. Have you heard Ruby Frank's ex-husband's testimony about how he was casting demons out? It's the 7 Passengers lady. No, I don't know who Ruby Frank is. Let me Google. I don't know who that is. Let me look and see if it comes up. Oh, the lady with all the kids? Yeah, I have to look into that. I don't know. I have to look more into that. I'll look more into that. I didn't know about that. Okay, Bianca said $9.99 says the weekend of Drake, you getting bodied by a singer nigga. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm telling you, when I first heard the Weeknd's verse, I fell out because I'm like, he's really singing a diss track to Drake. That was so unexpected. Especially being that they're both from Canada, which is funny. Let's see here. Kirby Wiggins sent 5 says you should be an agent because you understand the insurance and the puts of the music industry. Yeah, I mean, I study a lot of like just different fields. But I don't have a degree. I don't think they would hire me to do any of that. But, I try to give people like advice. I feel like advice is free. And I know there's so many people who are talented, who are singers and rappers. And I just think that people need to understand. I always try and warn people stuff before it becomes popular. That's why it's like a lot of things I said even like 2-3 years ago are now coming to pass. But mark my words, this is the next step. You're going to start seeing a lot of celebrities doing direct to consumer where they're going to say, oh, don't even go to Spotify. I'm taking all my music off of Spotify. You see, Kanye has already done it. And a lot of times, because like somebody said, Ryan Leslie's been doing it. But because Kanye is a bigger, more popular artist, you're going to see a lot of artists doing the same thing that Kanye's doing. So you're going to be seeing that a lot more. Let's see here. Hold on, my page refreshed. Muchilla sends $9.99 and says, Tory Lanez should be the blueprint behind Kanye West. Love your channel. Thank you so much. And yes, Tory Lanez was another one too. That's a really good point. He was another one who did a lot of direct to consumer, but he only really did that because he was blackballed by the industry. So he had no choice but to find other ways to get his music to his fans. And he did a good job of that, because people were definitely buying his music at that point. Shati Woodfolk sent $1.99, says, speaking of Ashanti, her stomach is flat. No, it's not. What stomach you looking at, sis? I saw Ashanti in person when she came to Minneapolis to perform with Nelly. She's definitely pregnant. And even now, she just wears them weird ass dresses, like they're t-shirt dresses. I guess she has one in every brand and color, but she's definitely pregnant. And her legs are huge too. She got them big old pregnancy legs. Let me see if I can find a recent picture of Ashanti. She looks pretty, but you can tell she's pregnant. She also has on that t-shirt dress, though. That's her thing. I'm trying to see if I can find a more recent one. Because I know she was on the Shade Room the other day. They had her posted up. Yeah, her pictures are not coming up. The only thing that's coming up is about all that stuff Journal Lucas was saying about her. But yeah, if you go in the Shade Room, she's pregnant. Her stomach isn't flat at all. She's very much pregnant. Let's see here. Daishin sent $4.99. What's up, Daishin? He says, we can't buy houses because everything is inflated. It's not the same as it was 20 years ago when my folks were my age at 26. Also, hey, T. Yes, I definitely agree. And I just feel like people are not taking that into consideration, and even everything that happened in 2020 with the housing market, like the interest rate being super low, that was a rarity. That was very, very rare that, people were able to get a home at 2.8, 3%. That's probably never going to happen again. And I had to sell my home that was 3% and get into this home. And I lucked up. I was able to get this house at like 6.8%, which was, a lot more than the 3%. But, I had to do what I had to do. And even now, I think it's up to like damn near 8%, if I'm not mistaken. I know the cars are like at 8% right now. So, yeah, he's not taking that into consideration. Let's see here. Todd French, Sam 5 says, Tyrese ain't this coming from the same dude that was on social media crying about how the system was trying to take him down? You can't make this up. That's him, the same Tyrese. Shannon G says, most of Gen Z are working 2 jobs or more, whether married or a single household. It's not easy out here at all. We are hard workers. I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you. Let's see here. Kezi says he sounds like a hater because we have access to what they didn't have back then, and now we can make money from it. How's that our fault? Yeah, I think, there is a little bit of bitterness where people assume that you guys have it easier because of technology. And in a way, when it comes to technological advances, you guys do have it a little bit easier. But unless you're in those particular fields, it doesn't benefit you. So yeah, you may have it easier where, like, let's say you're a musician and you can have a social media influence and do direct to consumer with your fans. That's probably easier than when he was in the industry back in the day and he was signed to a label and everything had to be done through that label, and he only got so many points on a record and things like that. But again, if you're not a musician and you're just a regular person, the technology doesn't really benefit you all that much. So it really depends on what you do for a living. But yeah, there's definitely some bitterness there. I definitely detect that with some of these people. Eurosite sent $9.99 says there is a disconnect between the average working person working a 9 to 5 and getting their degree and being a Twitch person every day. The money runs out. It's a struggle in my generation. Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem is that, people feel like they're looking at the average 20-something-year-old on social media And they're looking at like, you guys have it so easy. You guys can just sit on TikTok and just dance all day and do stupid shit and make all this money. But that's not the average person. Like, I know so many people in Gen Z that are not even on social media like that. They're not on TikTok. They're not, they're working. They're nurses and, stuff like that, or they're working their 9-to-5 jobs. So they don't have time to sit all day on TikTok, let alone create content for social media. So I think that is where some of the disconnect is that we're seeing the Kai Cenats, the Charlie D'Amelios, the I Show Speed. I think that's his name. I always mix up his name. And people are thinking that that's like every kid in this generation. It's really not. It's really not. Amber says, Twitch streamers and IG models are visible by nature. That's their job. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, you're gonna see them. You know what I mean? They want to be seen. They want you guys to watch their streams. But the average Gen Z person who's going to school for a degree or who's going to just working a 9-to-5, there's nothing for them to what are we gonna do? Sit there and watch? Are we gonna sit and watch them like do what? Like feed their patients and draw blood? Like they don't have a film crew with them. So of course we don't see what they're doing. So we assume that they're doing nothing. They're just at home eating ice cream all day. That's what they're making it seem. Let me see here. Nerly says, where did you get your blouse? I got it online. I think I paid like $10 for it. I thought it was cute. It was lavender. Just got it on the internet. Let's see here. I don't know what website though, but online, probably Amazon. I shop on Amazon a lot too. I'll see little cute things on there. Don't shadow ban me. YouTube sent $10. Says, I'm tired of these old fart knockers calling young people lazy. I'm 33. I went to college. I'm pushing 90K and I can't afford a home. Politicians from their generations put us in this situation. Love you, T. Wow. So there goes somebody right there, 33. They're making close to 90K and they still can't afford a house. So imagine like the average 22, 23-year-old who's only making, if they're lucky, $25,000 a year. And Dave Ramsey's calling them lazy. It's crazy. So thank you for that. Thank you for putting that into perspective. Reviews with Tamia Senpai says, thank you. I'm a part of Gen Z and myself and my peers are not lazy. It's the cost of living. I pay rent and I live at home with my mom due to the cost. Yeah. Yep. And don't feel bad at all because it's not easy. The cost of living is very, very high. So do not feel bad at all. Let's see here. Jesse Adams sent 10 says, I understand what Dave is talking about, but we are not all lazy. Life just got harder. And when do you get to enjoy life if you're working 2 jobs to barely afford a house? This isn't the 70s. That's a great point. Yeah, because I remember I was watching, I follow a lot of like these travel channels, so I kind of like on Instagram, so I kind of live vicariously through them because they go to like all these really cool places like Bali and Thailand, and they're like, I don't know, in the middle of the ocean on these yachts. So I don't know, I just find it really cool and interesting. And I noticed like a lot of the comments sometimes come off as angry because people are always there like, must be nice. And well, I have to work 2 jobs and, how do you expect me to pay for a hotel that's $5,000 a night and this and that, and I just think that some people, they don't live in the real world. Because I mean, and I get it, that's their job, right? You're a travel influencer. It's your job to like influence people to travel. And, but they were talking like, yeah, the difference between $1,000 a night hotel versus a $5,000 a night hotel. But the people who are watching, they're lucky if they can afford a hotel room that's, $100 to $300 a night. So again, I don't know. I think like people are very, very, I don't know. They get into spaces and they forget like the average person watching on social media, they don't have $5,000 to burn a night on a hotel room. But it's not the influencer's fault, right? But you also have to understand too that they're also getting that perk. That's the perk of them being an influencer. So most likely, are they paying $5,000 a night? No, but they want you to. So you got to remember that too. Yeah, it's not real. A lot of this stuff is just a facade. So, people getting mad and going off in the comments, you got to understand they're not even most likely paying $5,000 a night. Somebody said they're selling ass. No, I don't think this man was selling ass. I think he's really a travel influencer. Some of them do be, but he wasn't. He was really a travel influencer. But I like his Instagram. He always has like really cool stuff on there. So I just watch, I watch just to live vicariously through them. I don't really comment. But I notice like a lot of the comments be dragging them people. Baby G says, my bills are $3,500 a month by myself in Virginia. I'm in the military reserves and I still have to work 2 additional jobs. Wow. Well, thank you so much for the super chat and thank you for your service as well. I appreciate you. So thanks for coming through and letting us know about that. Jaquia sent $4.99 says, if I didn't start being a travel nurse when I did, I would be struggling. Y'all oldies need to stop hating on younger people. Nothing but musty energy. Damn. Not the musty energy. Y'all are going in. No, but I agree though. I agree. So thank you for the super chat, love. Let's see here. Lilith Boy sent $9.99 says, I'm 23. I've been living on my own for 3 years. I don't even know how I don't even know how to have fun as a 23-year-old because I'm constantly worried about staying stable. Moving and then not moving back in with my parents is an absolute no. Yeah. That can be hard. Yeah, if you're only 23 and you've been on your own for 3 years, so since you were 20, that can be hard. And yeah, some people don't have parents they can go home and stay with. Maybe your parents are in a worse situation than you are. So, just hang in there and keep doing what you have to do and don't let any of these people who are blessed positions make you feel bad for what you have to do to take care of yourself. Because before a lot of these people got into these positions, they were working 9-to-5 jobs, working multiple jobs, struggling, probably only getting 4 hours of sleep and then going to the next job. So definitely don't let them make you feel bad for doing what you have to do as a young person. You should be very proud of yourself that in this economy at 23 that you're able to even afford your own place, because that's not an easy feat in this economy. So definitely don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back. I think a lot of times we forget that, Let's see here. Russie sent $19.99 says, I agree. College can be a waste of time if you're not there for the right reasons. But what's your opinion on the declining enrollment of Black men in college? We don't have enough Black men in medicine, engineering, or law. I think overall, college is decreasing. I guess with Black men as well, but I think overall it is because, again, a lot of people in this generation are waking up. And if you're not going to school for something that's going to be meaningful, where there's going to be a job, it doesn't make any sense to go and get yourself into debt, you know what I'm saying? And, not be able to use your degree. I think that most people, if you're going to school, should be focusing on like medical careers. We definitely need more people in medical, like you said, engineering and things like that. But we also have to make those degrees in those degree fields, more visible. The problem is in our community, the most visible people are entertainers. So of course, this generation, they all want to be the next, rapper or singer or dancer or OnlyFans model or baddie, because that's what's the most visible. Nobody's promoting the nurses and the doctors and things like that. So I think if we promoted that more, you'd have more people be interested in things like that. And that's why I always say I felt like social media really killed the blue collar work environment, because at some point in time, people got very arrogant where they thought that blue collar work was, dirty, was beneath them. When we were growing up, we had the trades. So we had like auto shop, home economics, wood shop, metal shop. I remember I like made this metal thing. We'd make little book stands. Like, you know, there were like trades in high school. There were like different classes you could take. Then they took the trades out. And I felt like that was like a whole hustle to get kids to just go to college and to get into debt. Because that's one debt that can never be waived. It can never be, you know, deleted. You will owe student loan debt for the rest of your life, right? So I think that that's why they pushed, you know, going to college and being a white collar worker and wearing a suit and tie, you know, to go get a business degree and getting into all this debt. And they really demonized the trades. So now we fast forward 10, 15 years. What's the problem now? Well, the problem is now there's not enough men in the trades. So now you have it where the infrastructure is collapsing, roads are crumbling, potholes are crazy everywhere, you know, and you have a whole generation of young men, they don't want to do it. They don't want to be welders. They don't want to fill potholes. They don't want to fix roads. They don't want to do construction because it's not glamorous. You know, a lot of sassiness out here. It's not glamorous. And that's because social media made it seem like those type of jobs were beneath people. You know, everybody wants to talk shit about the plumber until you need a plumber and they show up at your house and they're charging $100 just to show up at your house. He ain't even done no work yet. Just for him to drive to your home was $100. So the trades are really, really good, you know, form of work, but we have to stop demonizing it and making it look like guys who do blue collar work are somehow not as good as guys who do white collar work, you know? So I think a lot of this stuff was by design. Hence why you have, you know, a lot of people not enrolling in college, a lot of people not going towards the trades and things like that. So I think it's sad. Somebody said their plumber charged $120 just to show up. Oh yeah, they don't play. And you better have it all. They be having card readers and everything. They won't come to your house with a card reader. Them plumbers don't play, boy. They got their little technology in their back pocket. Oh, they gonna get their money. You know, so blue collar work is very lucrative, and then you can always spin off and have your own business too, which is always like a really good thing about going towards the trades. So I think, you know, at the end of the day, we have to start glamorizing it. You know, we're visual creatures. And, you know, what looks more sexy on social media? The person who's selling you fucking courses in front of a Ferrari, or the person who's, you know, dirty, you know, they're a dirty mechanic, they're under a car, you know, they're doing all this back-breaking labor, but they're making $80 to $100 an hour. So they're making legitimate, tangible money, but because it doesn't look glamorous, nobody cares. So this is how a lot of people got scammed into a lot of those courses. Even now, it was, I think Baller Alert had posted, who is that guy? Jay Miller or something? What's his name? The one that had the Tulsa, Oklahoma fund? They're having to shut that down now. You know, all those people invested, I think, close to like $11 million. And now they're having to like sell the building. I think his name was Jay or something like that. So, you know, a lot of these people just be hustling. And people don't even realize that. They're just hustling you. Jay Morrison. Thank you. I said Jay Miller. Child. Jay Morrison. That's his name. Yeah, that was posted today. You know, and look how many people bought his courses and thought they could be rich like him. And it's like, no, all these people are telling y'all how to make quick money. There's no such thing as quick money. It's just not. The reason why they're able to make quick money is because they're selling you something. You are the product. They're selling you courses. You're how they're making their quick money. And people need to realize that. You have to work. There's too many people out here just grifting. Okay, let's see here. Kirby Wiggins Senpai says, I'm a 66-year-old and I have a niece in school for the arts. I almost told her that was the dumbest degree I've ever heard of. What you going to do is teach school. Yeah, I just don't think an art degree is a good degree. Especially when, like, with social media, you can paint on Instagram and post it. I mean, I've been seeing people who do like artwork and drawing and they get thousands of views and sponsorships and things like that. I think certain degrees are just a waste. You have to make sure that there's going to be something valuable with that degree. Otherwise, you're just getting yourself into debt. Okay, I've been on here for 2 hours. Okay, I'm gonna try and read. I know I got a lot of super chats coming in. I'm trying to read a few more here. Pat Williams sent 5 says, having 2 jobs doesn't make you a better worker. Gen Z's customer service skills is horrifying. Well, I think customer service in general is just, people have gotten very lax, unfortunately. I don't even think it's just Gen Z. You have a lot of people who just, they don't care. They don't have a lot of customer service. They don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be at their job. You know, a lot of people are just not happy. So you're going to get that bad customer service, unfortunately. Holly Gaddis sent 5 says, did you hear about Todrick Hall's GoFundMe? Not the rich man who had rented a home and asked for gifts for his home that he didn't own. Why does he have a whole GoFundMe? What happened? Todrick Hall reacts to backlash from GoFundMe. Let's go ahead and read this. I didn't know he had a whole GoFundMe. I thought he was rich. Wasn't he running around with Taylor Swift calling everybody broke? I'm just trying to read what this is about. Looks like he deleted it or something. Okay, it was something to help his family get back on their feet after their house burnt down. Why is that the internet's job? Oh, here goes the TikTok. This is why I love TikTok. Okay, here go. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Somebody on TikTok is talking about it. Let's see what they're saying. Let me share this tab.
Todrick Hall.
Okay, hold on. Let me show y'all real quick. Somebody on TikTok is talking about it. We're going to watch this together because I didn't hear about this.
Is asking fans for money because he says his family's house has burned down. In the GoFundMe, he says, typically I would be the person to step up to the plate to help, but as a performer who's just recovering from the pandemic and the union strike myself, there's only so much I can do. Now, this was just 3 days ago. He set a goal to raise $10,000, which he has already hit. But last night in Los Angeles, he threw a birthday party. There was a petting zoo, horses to take photos on, a mechanical bull, at least 3 drag performers, a tattoo artist, multiple photo stations. This is the one that you stand on and it spins around you to make a video. Another photo booth. Cakes like this in Los Angeles don't cost less than $500. And that's not even including any of the booze. There were a lot of people there. But what made me cringe the most was this video one of his girlfriends posted.
Todrick, you guys, what is his life?
If you don't know, I used to be a celebrity assistant for like an actual celebrity, like an A-list celebrity. There's no way, if I'm being very conservative with my math, there's no way that party cost less than $15,000. I bet it was at least $20,000. I just cannot imagine coming on the internet telling people that my family's house burnt down, asking them for money, saying that I couldn't afford it, and then throwing a $15,000 to $20,000 party. And actually, he's not wearing $10,000 worth of Cartier. He's wearing $24,000 worth of Cartier. I know we're all empaths, but there's like legit con men out here, and you guys need to be careful where you're spending your money.
And this is why influencers just look like horrible people, because of people like Todrick. So supposedly it was because the family's house burned down. Now I got to ask myself, did his family's house really burn down, or is this another grift? Because let's not forget, this is the same man who lied and said that he moved into this huge, beautiful home. It was like a $15 million home in LA. And then come to find out, he didn't own the home. He was renting it, and then he refused to pay rent. How about he sell one of those Cartier bracelets? You can't make this up. Yeah, he's been scheming and scamming for a while. Ain't Taylor Swift his best friend? Why don't he ask Taylor Swift for the money? It would be a tax write-off for her. Had Taylor Swift pay to rebuild your family's home. So he can have drag queens, a $500 cake, 360 booth. And those 360 booths are not cheap. Just for 4 hours to rent them, because I rented them at least 3 times for my parties, they're between $500 to $900 for 4 hours. And he had 3 of them. That's a shame. Well, thank you for that tea, Hollygus. I appreciate it. I didn't even know about that. That's crazy. It's always something. Always something. Okay, let's see here. Hanifa sent $4.99, says, T, I love you. Love your videos. I'm graduating next month and trying to figure out life post-grad. Definitely makes me feel lost at times. Well, congratulations on graduating next month. So at least you beat half the battle, but definitely don't let it overwhelm you. Just take it one day at a time. Be grateful that you graduated. You made it through the program. Try and get with some people that you can shadow. Try and get with some internships, depending on what you went to school for. Try and get a mentor and things like that. So that way that can kind of relieve some of your stressors. But at least you made it through, and that's what's important. So congratulations to you. So thanks for coming by. Let's see here. Zub H says, what's your opinion on Jeannie and Jeezy? # hurry up and buy. I wrote that on my Instagram page. I feel no ways. I don't feel bad for hurry up and buy or bicycle built for 2. Jeezy and Jeannie are 2 clowns who deserve each other. I feel no way about their situationship. They both ran trying to be couple goals for the internet, and it backfired. So for y'all who don't know, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, child. This is what's going on with Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. So Jeezy's out here. He's seeking primary custody of their 2-year-old daughter, Monaco. So this is what's being reported. They're saying, according to court documents obtained by Page 6, the put-on rapper filed in Fulton County Court Wednesday to vacate their current mediated agreement on temporary issues between him and the former Real co-host regarding their child custody. Jeezy J. Jenkins claims that he and Jeannie Mai agreed on custody arrangements for Monaco back in February. However, he now wants his daughter to live with him full time because of the mom's hectic schedule. In the docs, the sole survivor, MC46, claims that he agreed to move into the basement of their shared home, but Mai has since moved out of the residence and took Monaco with her. Since then, Jeezy alleges that Mai's brother and mom are taking primary care of Monaco, and that the Raid the Cage host hectic schedule isn't good for the young child. And I just wrote her up and bye. Again, I don't feel bad for either one of them. Good luck. I think at this point, he seems just as busy. Was he not performing on stage not too long ago? Is he not out here pushing his book? So he seems just as busy as she is. And the grandmother stepping up and taking care of the child. I feel, let's just keep it real, he don't want to pay child support. That's just what it is. He's probably paying child support for his other children. He doesn't want to pay child support for this child. And so now he's trying to get full custody. Jeannie claimed at one point she didn't want any children by her ex-husband. She went and had a baby with Jeezy. She's going to fight. I don't think she's going to allow Jeezy to just take full custody. So they're definitely in for a fight. It's sad. I didn't expect them to be over this quickly. It seemed like it was going to be somewhat amicable at first, but now it looks like all bets are off. So good luck to them. I feel no ways. But I do think he's only doing it because he doesn't want to pay child support. I definitely feel that. I think instead of her, racing to get with him, she should have looked at his track record. And then what I heard was that he was still with his Ethiopian baby mama while Jeannie was, messing with him. So you get what you put out there. Let's see here. J Rob says, I find it funny that Dave Ramsey saying our generation is lazy when he himself went... Wait, what? When he himself went bankrupt at our age due to a bank merger. I didn't know he went bankrupt. See, Gen Z, boy, they will come with the receipts. I never knew he went bankrupt. So that's very funny. So when he was y'all's age, he was bankrupt. But now that he's old and he done made money off the internet, now he wants to talk down to Gen Z. Interesting. Oh, you done spilled the TJ in. He said Dave Ramsey was bankrupt at y'all's age. That is so funny. Oh, people love getting on their high horse and forgetting where they came from. So why did he just eat, the money he lost, why didn't he just eat it on the chin? Why would he want to go file bankruptcy? So thank you for that, T. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Okay, let's see here. Deanie Darcel says, hey, T, sending you some love, mother. The girls are fighting and Drake is probably paranoid if 21 is going to turn on him. Ooh, that's going to be interesting to see because, 21 is cool with Future and all them. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think 21 would turn on him, though. But then who knows? All these other folks were his friends and they all turned on him. So it's going to be interesting to see. But y'all, on that note, I feel, let's see here. Melvin Elephant in the chat says, Dave Ramsey is a smart man, but he's always been a hypocrite. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that vibe. Because like I said, I had no idea that he had filed bankruptcy. So I find that very funny that he's talking so much mess about Gen Z. When most of Gen Z, they ain't even make no money like that to be able to even file bankruptcy. So at least that was an option in his generation. Because bankruptcies now are harder to file. It's harder to get bank loans, let alone file bankruptcy. So it's a lot going on. But you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to head out. I've been on here for over 2 hours. But thank you guys for joining me for this impromptu Friday stream. This was definitely a nice conversation. So I'll see you guys. I'll probably try and drop some more videos this weekend when I get a chance. So let me see. Hold on. Somebody just sent a super chat. Michelle says, T, I'm not sure if you talked about this. Did you hear about the mom and son in Texas that was trafficking students from her school? Yes. We posted that on Instagram. It's sickening. And I hope they throw the book at her and her son. Just for the fact that she was taking advantage of disenfranchised young girls and having her son pimp them out. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull that story up because we just posted it too. I'm going to share it with y'all really quick before I go. That'll be my last story. Where is it at? Here it is. Oh, hold on.
Kane.
Let me show y'all this story real quick here.
High school teacher.
She is accused of trafficking students along with her son. ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live with the facts we have so far about this troubling case. Jessica?
Yeah, we've learned this teacher was arrested just before 5 this evening at Klein Cain High School, taken to the district police department and then brought here to the Harris County Jail. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says so far there are 3 teen victims, ages 15, 16, and 17, all female students and runaways. He says more students have already come forward, though, saying she tried to recruit them as well into prostitution.
Tonight, disturbing allegations against a Klein ISD teacher. Kedria Grigsby now charged with 3 counts of child trafficking and 3 counts of compelling prostitution. The 42-year-old, a cosmetology teacher at Klein Cain High School. According to Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, investigators believe she recruited troubled teens from local high schools by offering them a place to stay. And she did it, he said, alongside her son, 21-year-old Roger McGee, who is also under arrest. Klein Cain's principal tonight sent a message to families notifying them of the arrest, clearly stunned by the allegations. Quote, "Let us be clear, any behavior harming children is deplorable." and appealing to parents, quote, please speak to your children about this matter, and if you have information, please report it to Klein ISD Police. The district has not disclosed how long she's been a teacher there, but according to Klein Cain's online cosmetology course information, she runs the program. Building people up and watching them soar is her passion, a slide says, also sharing several family photos. The school says she will never be allowed at any Klein ISD schools again. With potentially more victims, more charges are possible.
News now.
All right, so that is a story. Extremely disturbing. So it's sad that she would take advantage of young girls like that who were, a lot of them were like dealing with issues at home or were, homeless. And so, they confided in her and she took advantage and got them into trafficking, selling their bodies, and her son was pimping them out and they were splitting the money. So it's really sad when somebody who's in a position of trust takes advantage of young people like that. So, but with that being said, you guys, thank you guys so much once again for tuning into this stream. I'm going to go ahead and head out and I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good weekend.